Welcome, welcome. Welcome to It Was Never You, where we talk about narcissistic abuse, high conflict personalities, and how to handle it, how to function in a world where it is becoming more and more evident that narcissism is actually growing exponentially in society today. So somebody asked me to do a video on why are you not a priority to the narcissist? The question that I would ask would be, do you have evidence that they are capable of making somebody a priority in their lives? You may have surface evidence that they are making somebody a priority in their lives because you see them going on with their friends or taking care of their parents to some extent, or doing certain things that on the surface level would give you evidence that they are capable of making somebody a priority. But if you dig a little deeper into the motives behind it, there's always underlying motives that would lead you to believe. Not always, it exists on a spectrum, so some people are more narcissistic than others, but it would lead you to the conclusion, and I do believe this to be true, that that everything is about them. They exist in this bubble where they are the only priority in their mind, and they are the only thing that matters. So even with their children, they will do things for their children when it looks as if, we've all heard stories, right? So the mom, there was a movie called The Act where the mom had Munchausen syndrome, and it's a TV show, and she was screaming at the daughter who had absolutely nothing wrong with her. She may have had Munchausen, but I do believe the woman was a narcissist. So she was yelling at the daughter for something, and then the phone rang, and then she picked up the phone, and she was as sweet as could be. They can turn it, see, they have the ability to turn it on and off. They have the ability to be kind when needed, when it portrays something good about themselves. So, sorry about the noise. You've the issue is that we make their inability to make us a priority something that affects our identity. So the idea will become, and it's quite genius, okay? So the belief will become, I am just not good enough for them to make me a priority in their lives, okay? So what happens then is, because of the love bombing and the cognitive dissonance, where they love bombed you and then they devalued you and then they might have discarded you, when they throw you a crumb of a semblance of you being some type of a priority in their life, you will open the door wide open. You won't open the door as if it is an invader trying to come into your house. You will open the door all the way and you will let them back in, because you are given a crumb of somebody treating you like a priority. So it really does become all about us and what we believe we deserve and what our beliefs are about ourselves. This is becoming a theme, like, we have to look at ourselves. That's not to say that their behavior is not horrible and that they exist in this world, that they do exist in a world that is all about them, that nobody else matters but themselves. But why do you view yourself as so unworthy of somebody making you a priority? Do you have a belief that you believe that you are not good enough for somebody to make you the number one priority in their life? Was that established when you were a child? Is there something that was broken due to living and being raised in a narcissistic household where you were not made to be the priority, and your emotions and your feelings and your thoughts and your beliefs were not made to be a priority, because then that would be a repeated cycle, and that would be something that you would need to dig into a little bit deeper. Let's talk about, I do recommend that anybody that has been through narcissistic abuse seek some type of formal counseling. Okay, if you go that route, there are certain therapies that work. Everybody is different. For me, talk therapy was not productive at all. I would just go to therapy, and then I would just leave angry, and then I would calm down and go back and be angry again, because I was just repeating the same stories over and over again. CBT, EMDR, certain types of therapy could work a little bit better with complex trauma, as opposed to just the talk therapy. But I do, if you guys are in the United States, I do recommend that you research your psychologist that you are going to see, because don't let anybody dance in your head for free. These people are basically dancing in your head, so you need to do research to get a good one. But let's get back to the topic at hand. Why am I not a priority to the narcissist? Because they are not able to make, the simple answer is they are not able to make a person a priority for a ongoing long period of time. They don't process empathy the way that, and again, exists on a spectrum. So some may have the ability to empathize. Some may have may give you you may think that they have empathy, but they know in certain situations, if somebody's crying, they know to give a hug. They know to be there if somebody is grieving, but there isn't that genuine emotion inside of them that can. Empathy is the ability to basically put yourself in somebody else's shoes and feel what they're going through. If the definition of narcissism and narcissistic personality disorder rings true, then they would be devoid of this ability to do that. So what you are asking is almost something that is impossible of these people. They don't have the capacity to do it. You have to dig and be like an investigator and really try to figure out, is what I have seen from them a behavior that can stand the test of time, or do they just flutter with the wind, going to the next person, going to their next supply? They exist in a world that they will do things for people if they get something out of it. Meaning, if they get some type of acclaim out of it, if people look at them as a good person. They don't have an actual identity themselves. They have created a mask. They have created this persona that is not really who they are, and it probably usually is from trauma, but that doesn't matter, because we are each responsible for our own behavior as adults, and we are responsible for the way that we operate in the world. They will use people as supply to get what they want. So I know that the idea of this hurts. Well, did they ever really love me? Then you ask yourself, do they actually have the ability to love? If somebody has created this mask and this persona and is not operating in a true identity, and every time the mask slips, they have to go ahead and pull that thing back up so people don't see the real monster that lies underneath there, do they actually have the ability to selflessly love somebody and to see you for who you really are? Or were you just supply? And the hard answer is, I don't believe they have the ability Like it's like if you grow up in a toxic household, right? People, just because this person is your mother or your father, people will tell you, well, they're your parent, of course they love you. Well, they love you in their own way. They loved you in their own way. But to the person that's gone through this, that is not good enough, because what does that even mean? They love you in their own way. Are you willing to live the rest of your life being loved by a person in their own way? That means they don't see who you are as a person, and they don't see your worth. Is that something that you are willing to put up with for the rest of your life? This is about you and your future. Are you willing to be with somebody who constantly does not make you a priority? And if you are willing to do that, what belief about yourself that you think that you don't deserve a true friendship, a true companionship, where somebody sees you, somebody wants to understand who you are and is willing to help you grow. You're not growing when you're with a narcissist. You're basically stuck. You get into their reality, into the way they operate. You're a hamster in a wheel, and you're going round and round. And I don't believe they have the capacity. You'll get moments where you think that you're a priority. But is that good enough for you? Why are you not good enough? Got to get to the root cause to fix this. So no, I don't believe the narcissist has the ability to make somebody a priority long term. You'll get crumbs, but it won't ever be good enough for you. But are you good enough? You have to ask yourself that. You have to dig into what you are believing about yourself as a person, and why those beliefs are there, and how you can reprogram your brain to overcome that and to see yourself the way that you really are, because you deserve somebody who sees you and who understands you, and who sees you for the person that you really are, not projecting their garbage onto you and expecting you to take the fall for their shortcomings, because that's what a narcissist does. They project onto you their own self-hatred, and people will say they actually love themselves. No, they don't. They actually have a deep sense of shame, deep sense of guilt, deep sense of self-hatred, and they are pulling you into that world with them. Are you willing to go down that path? Because that is what you are dealing with. They give you the idea that they are the greatest thing since sliced bread on this earth. That is not the truth. If what a narcissist says is lies, it's two lies and a truth. That's how they get you. So they'll tell you a little bit of truth about yourself. Because remember, in the beginning with the love bombing, they have sat there and they have listened to you. They have listened to your weaknesses. They are master manipulators at understanding the human psyche. So you're dealing with somebody who they actually know you, but what they know is they know your weaknesses, and they know how to sting you like a scorpion. And they will sit there and they will wait, and they will do that to you. Are you willing to go down this path long term? And that's not to say that in the future they might get zonked on the head, and then something happens and they just completely change. I don't know. I live in a world where I believe there is hope for everybody. But what are you willing to endure in this life? And is it worth your time? Because you're going to be totally distracted and off of your path trying to figure out if what this person said is true. That will be your reality. You're going to be constantly trying to figure out, what did they mean? Why did they say this? Do they love me? This is not worth your time. It is not worth your time. You deserve better. And that is it. Thank you for listening, and we will be back.